All right, Sifu Ed here, Metrolina Martial Arts. We're gonna go through a quick jiu-jitsu kind of warm up for you to get some movement in, and we're gonna go from there. Okay, so real quick, movement drills. Now, when you're by yourself, jiu-jitsu can be kind of a pain. It's honestly like you're not practicing jiu-jitsu, you're more practicing mobility, which in my opinion might be more important. For me, as I'm getting older, I'm 35, I'll turn 36 this year, I know age now. I'm finding that certain moves and certain things that I do don't work so well anymore. As when I was younger doing jiu-jitsu, when I started it back in 2009, so I was 24. Versus now, 36, so... But when I earnestly started Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu when I was 30, you know, it's kind of put some miles on the body. And what's important, I think, to realize is that you need mobility. Everyone is on a different journey with their mobility. Now, for me, personally, I've had knee surgery. I have elbow issues on how my range of motion. So for me, a big part of this is being able to move comfortably. One of the things that Professor Olson always kind of talks about, or at least he does in every seminar and class that I've been, is he does a lot of little mobility drills. And I find them to be hard and challenging, but in the best kind of way. So let's go through some of those right now. He's got some videos just like this on his channel, the MAUA channel, and I'm just going to kind of take my spin on it. You can check his video out, I'll leave that link in the description, and let me know what you think, how our style's kind of different. Okay, so depending on how flexible and how tight your knees and everything are, will depend on how well you can sit in Seiza. Now this is the Seiza position. I'm not really warmed up. So this is what I'm trying to do for this. I'm trying to warm up. So when I sit here, I'm a little front elevated like that, and I don't have mobility in my toes to be able to sit here like that. I just don't have it. And it hurts. For me, it hurts my right ankle right through in here. And I haven't had anything happen to it that I remember. But this is the knee that I had the surgery on. So I just think everything's really tight. So a lot of these moves I got from Silat, from Guru Rondalicki, the guy with the sticks over there. I got a lot of these warm-ups from there, and I kind of put them together with a jiu-jitsu mindset. So the first one's rocking chair. Okay, so I sit here like this, and I just kind of go back and forth. Okay, the older you are, I think the more that this becomes important. I know almost every time I do this in the morning when I teach morning classes, my back goes blah, 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 like as I do this. Okay. And then I like to pause here to make sure I'm waking my hips up, my back up, and my neck up for jiu-jitsu. Okay? Now, same thing, I'm going to do the rocking chair, but I'm going to come up into combat base. So when I come up here, I'm up like this. So I have my 3-point base, some people call it, but this is combat base. I like to keep my elbow on the inside, and I try to get it as low as I can. And the dynamic movement of it allows me to kind of stretch my joints out that are being problematic. Okay? And it allows me to sit when the elbow's in. I like the elbow in specifically for actual training, but I catch myself like this a lot. I get triangle, which hasn't happened in a while for me until I started rolling with higher level belts, and then bang, triangled all the time. Anywho, okay? So once that one is done, okay, you start going in, you start with the rocky chin, you come up to combat base, okay? So the next one will be the sit through, okay? So I come here, I'm sorry, this technical stand-up sit, there's different. Two ways of doing it. One is how I just did it, right? So when I rock back, when I rock forward, foot and hand planted, hand up, and then I'm gonna put my leg underneath, and then I can come up to standing. But the older you get, the harder that gets. So it's also okay to come up into the 3-point stance and then stand up. As long as your hands stay up, you're good to go. Here. that, and then I come in, I break fall, and then I'm here, like that, okay? So that's the rocking chair to the technical stand-up. After you've done that, now you can start to, when you rock back from the rocking chair, so here you put both feet down, bridge up. Now when you bridge, if I bridge flat-footed like I just did, it'll make it difficult. Here, if I bridge with my toes, I can get a bit higher. And then from here, I do my kick through. Not my sit out, my kick through, okay? From here, I use my elbows, keep my butt high, and then I push myself into the kneeling position, okay? What that does, I don't want to like roll on the floor like bike position, right? I don't want to be like rolling on the floor like that. That's not very athletic. I come in here and then having to crawl back up. I don't want to do that. I want it to be somewhat athletic. Okay? So when I'm here, I bridge, I through, and then I'm up here and I'm in my kneeling position. Okay? Then I'll plant foot in hand, and then baseball slide here. Okay? Once I'm there, I bridge, I go to the other side, same thing, and now I'm here. Okay? Plant, and then baseball slide through. Okay? So that's my kick through. My kick through to my baseball slide. Okay? Now I'm going to do the same thing. I'll do my my leg weave into my sit out. Okay? I bridge on my toes, I leg weave here, I get to the quarter position, and then I lift this leg up like I'm a dog peeing on a fire hydrant here, and then I come right back there. Okay? So I bridge up like that, I leg weave, come up here, I keep my elbow on the ground, I lift up here, I'm going to slide through and I'm going to elbow back with this hand here, like that. What that elbow back does is it simulates me getting that person off of me if they're on top of me in that position. For example, if I took a shot on somebody and they sprawl, that's a good position for me to go, okay? So the kick out, or excuse me, kick out here, like that, here, and then to the sit out. So, okay? And you go in like a full revolution, okay? That's just some of the mobility that I like to do. Other mobility drills that I like to do that come more from C-Lot are more of our windshield wiper legs, okay? So, what that means is when I'm in this position, in the seiza position, I'm gonna reach forward here as if I'm going for an ankle kick, and then I'm gonna windshield wiper my legs, and then come back into this Z-sit, okay? And I'll come back forward again here, and then windshield wiper my leg, and acting as if I'm cupping the leg and pulling the inside. Okay? What this does is this murders your IT band. Like I feel it all through here and on here. And that's what you want. You want that kind of mobility that you feel like, oh man, I feel good after having done it. Okay? So then I switch and I come back. Also in the middle position, you can kind of drive your hips down. That feels really good too. It's kind of like that frog here. So reach up, come back. Go, reach up, come back. Okay? Now we can combine rocking chair with this. So when I rock here, I come up into this position. As opposed to coming up and do a butterfly guard here, like that. Okay? Or coming up into combat base here. Okay? They all have different modes, depending on what you want to do. I like to think of coming up into this position as if I failed kind of a sweep and now I need to regain guard or something like that. So it's something that I like to use a lot. Okay? After you get used to switching your legs, you can make it more dynamic, like that. Right, kick, 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 like that. That's just to open my hips up. It also helps, like, I saw Andrew Wiltsey do this, is when someone's like shucking your leg, you come up with the other leg. They shuck your leg, you come up with the other leg. So it's kind of the same principle, right? Is when you're here, you're like, oh no, you got it here. Oh no, you got it here. Like that, all right? Next one is when I come up here, like that, I base, my hand comes up, and I'm gonna kind of do a bear walk position. So I go from here, I post up, lifting my hip up, I plant here, so I'm in the bear walk position, and now I'm over here. This is waking up the upper body. Okay, I like to do that. Change the angle on you. Here, like that. I lift my hip up, over, and now I'm here. And I go. Okay. Now in C-Lot, you had kicks. I don't do this necessarily for my jiu-jitsu class, but it's something that is technically in the art. So what that kind of looks like here is when I'm here, I post up like this, I throw my kick, and I throw my kick. And this keeps that at bay. I leave that leg out as I spin here. Then from here, I like to put either that hand down or this hand down and go right into combat things. But that's probably for another video. This is more jiu-jitsu based here. And then now after I do that, I can sit and seize them more comfortably. I've awakened my hips, my knees, and all that. Last little thing to kind of wake the body up is forward and backward rolls. Granny rolls or forward break balls and backward rolls. The reason I really like these, and I got this from Eli Knight, is A, it awakens the body to like contact with the mat, and B, it's one of those things where it's kind of nice to see that where you are athletically and where you need to go athletically. So in the beginning, I like to have momentum with the backwards roll. I point at my foot and I roll over this shoulder that I'm pointing with. Like that, and I can come straight to this position. Another way of doing it is kind of a squat, and I have a bucket of water, I throw it, and I end up in the same position. Problem with backwards rolls is that you get really dizzy when you do them, so FYI on that. Another way from Eli Knight directly that I really liked is when you lay flat here, and then you do the backwards roll. Okay, so you have no momentum, you just do it. Okay? One more time. Here, I lay flat. The momentum is me bringing my legs up here. So if I go over my right shoulder, I can just go into that position. Forward rolls, there's a couple different ways to do it. The way that I traditionally like to do it is I start this height for beginners, and then I add height as we go. But the idea is to kind of dive under here, whoop, and then you can slap the mat like ukemi, okay, or like a break fall, or you can do it such that you just continuously roll, like that. And of course combine the two. But you can do it such where you're actually landing in ukemi, so, or break fall. When you do that, that's when you're here, and you come in and you're based here, or you can go flat too, here, like that. Okay, doesn't have to be elbow up. Elbow up could be scary depending on your weight, so, and your shoulder health. Okay, so that's kind of a little bit of a jiu-jitsu mobility workout. Didn't really deal with the hips too much, at least from a standing perspective. I have a previous video on that if you want to check that out, hip mobility and jiu-jitsu. It's a pretty good video in my opinion. It's something I need to continuously work on. I've been doing goblet squats to help out my hip mobility. It's one of those things where you can continuously do it and lose it super fast. Where you want to be able to squat in here and be able to pass somebody's guard really low and keeping your hips low as opposed to super elevated like this, right? That exposes my neck. So check out that other video on how to kind of keep your hips back and stay in this kind of position. Master Machado is really good at that. He calls it, I think, the surfer walk or zombie walk. I'm not sure, but that's always good. Check out his channel too. He's got a lot of really good jiu-jitsu stuff, obviously. But yeah, make sure you leave a comment if you like this kind of stuff. I can do other arts as well. I know jiu-jitsu isn't really my, what people come to the channel for, but it is something that I am passionate about. I really do enjoy jiu-jitsu. It's one of those arts that's really grown on me as I progress through it. In the beginning, I hated it, and I just slowly kept on with it, man. And I just got my second stripe on my purple belt from Professor JD, so that was nice. But yeah, leave a comment if you want more stuff like this, and make sure you subscribe, hit the bell button so you never miss this handsome face. And yeah, make sure to like the video as well. It helps the algorithm and all that stuff out. Okay? That being said, I'll see you in the next one. Party on.